Sweet. Nice. Okay. Should we dig into it? Let's get started. Okay, who is up first? I think it's Alex. Let me just full screen this. Okay, Alex cannot join the stream today. I think he's doing this like epic bike ride in Brazil somewhere. There we go. But I'm wishing you all the best, Alex, and hope you catch a stream later. Here we go. Let's check this out. This is called Getting Hotter. Nice. Alex, killer. That is great, dude. Great work. Orchestral trap. I love it. Man, that is a great track, dude. Yeah, really nice production there and really nice mix. I like how that there's like a nice open kind of cinematic section in there, which I think there's a lot of space in the track, and I think that is important. It would make for a really suitable underscore, for like reality TV, that kind of thing. So yeah, but I love the dark energy of it. It had like a really kind of sinister angle to it, which I think is really cool. Also, I should really point out that the key change there was so awesome. You do not hear that happen very much in like hip hop tracks. I gotta say that took me by surprise. Super tasteful. I think there's a point, I think, when you come back down to that the original key at about a minute 30, when you hit that brass stab, you hit the same note twice on that brass stab coming out and into the original, or from the key change to back to the original. And I might use like a fifth of the scale so that you're bringing it, so you don't have to repeat that same note twice. That was the only thing that I kind of came to mind when I was listening to it. There's an opportunity there to kind of like differentiate the melody a little bit instead of hitting that note twice in a row. But man, yeah, I don't know. I love this so much, and thank you for sending it over, man. That's awesome. And yeah, hope you are enjoying yourself wherever you are. Let's see who's next. We got, I'm gonna take this off. I think Paul is up. And I believe that this is another orchestral hip hop track. Wasn't very many orchestral ones. Let's check this out. Here we go. Holy shit. Dude. Wow. This is amazing. What the hell, man? That's just so cool. Insane. Man, Paul, you're always killing these challenges, dude. Just catching up with some of the comments here. Yeah. Wow is right. Man. Oh, sorry, Mimo. You were talking about the phone. My bad. not where you were in the line. Good job, Paul. Yeah, dude, totally. That was insane. That gun sample, really, really well done. Really, really nice. That was super choice. Badass to the bone. The choir, it almost reminded me like of a more badass version of Gangster's Paradise. There was some moments where like things got like a wee bit crowded in the mix, maybe like leading up to this like second chorus area, around like, I don't know, was it around here maybe? Yeah, like that ascending choir melody. I love it. It sort of felt like there was just a few moments there where it was like a lot of sound happening at once. And I kind of liked where the moments where it was like a little bit more stripped back and punchy. The choir, I mean, yeah, the choir is going to take up a lot of space in the mix, so that's kind of unavoidable. But I think, yeah, overall the production is amazing. And dude, I don't know, I think I've asked you this before. Like, I can't remember what libraries you're working with, but that something like that would just clean up on like Motion Array. I'm sure Artlist would love to have something like that in their catalog too. Very, very licensable, man. Yeah, I would use that in one of my videos, that's for sure. So yeah, a little bit of resonance here and there. I might have used like a riser instead of that choir on that like ascending melody, but man, yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. That was absolutely killer. Thanks so much, Paul. Appreciate it. Who's next? We got Rob, I believe. Yeah, Rob Barnes. Big Boots. Okay, let's check this one out. Just making sure I'm catching up with your comments here. Yeah. Don't bother sharing my track anymore. No, man, yours is killer. I can't wait to show your track. Yeah, that was intense for sure. Two great tracks to start us off, indeed. Okay, let's check out Rob's track. Here we go.
Sounds good.
Nice finish there. I swear I didn't intentionally put the 3 orchestral tracks in a row. That just happened. I think that's it for the orchestral hip hop. There might be one more, but Rob, man, always a pleasure to hear your music. That was a great track. Man, I love those string ostinatos. Those are just killer. They were so creative. And it just was all over the place. It was super exciting to listen to. And the brass lines also really, really great. So, yeah, this kind of reminded me of the intro to that show Succession. You guys watch that? That's such a great intro. That orchestral hip hop vibe is just so I love it. Yeah, just really good energy. I like how you incorporated the scratching in there too. I do have like one critical thing to say about it. There was a sort of a moment, I think it was around bar 17 or so, where you introduced this like keys patch. Yeah, things get a little crowded there for me. I'm not sure if it's not that I don't like the melody that you're doing there. I think it's just I just wasn't convinced that you even need it in there, to be honest. Or that could have been like those keys could have been something that you brought in during the breakdown, because man, I don't know. I just listening to it, I felt as though the strings, the orchestral stuff on its own is just so powerful that it really doesn't need a whole lot more. It takes up a lot of space. So I sort of thought intuitively, like just listening to it, that keys was that I'm not sure if it's like a synth or a key or keys patch, whatever. But it sort of felt, yeah, I don't know, lack of a better way to say it, just didn't really need to be there. Or at least it's something that could be there, but it didn't need to interfere or fight with the orchestral stuff. So that would be my one thing to say about it. Yeah. Just clutters the mix a little bit. There's a sneaky little organ line in there. It sounds like a farfisa or something like that. I really like that. That was cool. Yeah, man, just awesome track. Really, really great. Always cool to feature your music, man. I like how much these tracks have been developing over time. Something I need to keep in mind for the future. Yes. Yeah. Always got to bring in. There's got to be a lot of dynamics throughout the track, right? It's got to be each track has to be a little adventure, for sure. And Eminem could use this absolutely. Yeah, it had that old like early 2000s hip hop vibe to it, Dr. Dre style, definitely. Man. Yeah, I mean, these submissions are just insane. They're all so good. You guys are just killing it, and I just feel inspired already. I mean, just listening to these last night and making some notes, I just want to write more and more hip hop. I really do. So let's go to whomever is next here. Chad. Chad's a new member, I believe, in the Academy. I think this is his first submission. I could be wrong. Chad Kaya. Okay, I don't know if we have a name for this other than August Hip Hop, but yeah, stoked to share your music here today, Chad. Let's listen to this one. Here we go. Enjoy, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. A lot of really nice details in there. And yeah, I love the intro. Just how it breaks into it. Really laid back and kind of like sexy sample chop there. Great work, Chad. That was awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Chops are all really, really tasteful. I really like that. I like the guitar a lot. I think you're the only one that like had that kind of guitar aesthetic in the track, which is really interesting. And I think that generally speaking, like a guitar solo in like you did there is like sort of unconventional for the genre. But I would say overall, kind of like it fit the vibe. In certain parts, it felt like it made things a bit messy. I did actually have one suggestion, actually, and that's maybe when you introduce that guitar, like when it comes in, you can maybe like just a thought, you could like maybe filter out the sample chops and the track, or like even the drums too, and just kind of make some space to introduce that guitar, like just so it's like really vibey when it comes in. That was the first thought I had with the electric guitar, is that it might be cool to make it kind of like a feature, to feature it more rather than just to kind of pile the sound of it on everything else. That was sort of something I probably would have done in a production like that if I was going to add a solo in. And that's something, and you know what, thinking about it, that would be really cool to incorporate some like slinky lead playing in a track like this. And that's something I truly I didn't think of. I think it's just because it's somewhat unconventional, but at the same time, that makes it original too, the way you did it. So I really appreciate that. Oh yeah, I love the vocal chop too, with the drop that beep. That's great. That worked perfectly. And all the details there. A lot of details. It made for a really nice track, man. Thank you for that submission. It was awesome. Kind of unique hip hop, yeah. Awesome chopping and scratching effects, totally. Yeah, always love some good guitar shreddage. It was definitely. I think Chad was the only one who dropped some serious guitar in the track. Insane live guitar, sweet. I'm glad you guys liked it too. So let's move on here. Who is next? Clemens. Let me just change this. All right, Clemens, always a pleasure to listen to your tracks here. Let's check this out. This one's called Hip Hop Jazz. Here we go. That's catchy. I like that little vocal. Is that you doing those vocals? That's pretty cool, man. I love the laid back, smoky, kind of atmospheric vibes here. It had a kind of like almost like an acid jazz vibe to it. That's what they used to call lo-fi hip hop back in the day, right? Yeah, those vocals were cool. The horn stabs were cool. They all added something kind of tasteful to the track. Yeah, always a pleasure to showcase your work, Clemens. I have 2 points to make about this track. I think personally, I think the beat needs to come into focus a little bit more. It felt very laid back in the mix, sort of squashed. And I think that when we're dealing with hip hop, it really is sort of the essence of it, you know, is to kind of have that beat be like a focus point, and driving the energy forward. So I would say that maybe that's something to focus on for the next hip hop track, is just kind of like fleshing out the beat a little bit more. My only other thing I would say is that from just like a stylistic sort of perspective, that the high pitch sample that you're using, it's a little too abrasive for me. It's a little too distracting. And maybe, maybe a little overused. I think it's just, it could be a matter of just like finding the volume balance for it. Just that dee like that little kind of, I don't know what it was. I don't know how I'd describe it exactly, but you know what I'm talking about. That was, a little bit out of place for me in the mix, but other than that, man, great track, super vibey, and I love the jazz vibes. So thanks so much for sending that over. Tasty jazz vibe. Yeah, absolutely. DonTrell says, I really like the diversity of elements in this one. Yeah, it was smoky. I just had like a vision of myself in like a smoky jazz bar. That's what it brought me to. Okay. Who's next? You got Mr. Topher. And this track is called I Like That. Okay. This is a short one. Just seeing that the length is like quite a bit shorter than everything else. Okay, let's check this out.
I like that idea. Okay.
Dude. Oh man. So good. I would have been proud to write that track. That it really is that epitomizes the up tempo 90s hip hop vibe that I tried to capture in last month's course. That is absolutely the vibe right there. That sample, magical, so good, super tasteful, dude. I love the details. Tons of details in there, and they're just all so tasty. It's pretty much like A+, man. I don't really have any critical feedback for you or anything on that track. The mix is fantastic. Super tasteful chops. I love that ride sample that you're using to sort of like texturize the beat. That's super tasty. I love that. I don't know if that was baked into the sample that you used or if you added that. Maybe let me know in the comments. There is one tiny suggestion I'd make for you just listening back to this is that I think that a good practice, and like it's not necessary all the time, but like I think a good practice for a track like this especially, where it's like sort of energetic, is to add like a little stinger, like a little bump at the end. So the ending that you had was sort of like just like a quick fade out, which to me felt like a little anticlimactic, considering how energetic the track was. It's not a huge deal. I just, I feel like I'd probably, if I were doing a track like this, I'd want to end it on like a bang, like just like a quick, stinger, I guess that's what they call it, or a bumper ending, whatever the word is, whatever the sync licensing word is for it. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Kind of cool for ads. Yeah, dude, this is this is like super licensable material. Vocals are really cool. Absolutely. Sample chopping. Hey, Frodo's here. Sorry, I didn't see it in the comments there. Welcome, man. Button ending. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Button ending. Thank you, Frodo. Hold on, I need a sip of coffee here. It's still early. I know all the Europeans and those east of me are watching, and it's probably late, but I just woke up a couple hours ago here. My friend actually suggested I make a bumper stinger for that track, but I had already submitted it. Yeah, it might be too late. That's all good. Cool. All right. Let's move on. How you guys doing out there? Is everyone enjoying this? I'm having a great time. It's really fun. Edwin, you're up. Okay, Edwin, I think this is your first submission, is it not? Sorry if I'm wrong on that, but I think it is. Yeah, man, really stoked to showcase this one today. This one's called Cutie Pie. Let's check it out. Nice, Edwin. Sweet track, man. I got a couple notes on this one. First of all, really positive, uplifting vibe, which I love. Big bonus for the licensability factor there, so well done on that. A lot of really nice ear candy samples peppered throughout the whole track. I love the horns. That was killer. I hear some sneaky, funky guitar work in there. Very, very cool. I have a similar point to make about the beat as I did about Clemens' track. To me, in the mix, the beat is like it gets buried, especially when there's a lot of other stuff going on. And I think that there's actually a few moments in the track where you sort of flesh the beat out a little bit, just like momentarily, with like a percussive top sample or something like that. But that it only happens for like a bar, and then you take it away. I don't know if I can find it. See that, just that little moment there, like that sounded cool. Like I would probably recommend trying to find maybe like some loops or some energy to sort of flesh that beat out a little bit more, and rather, because when that's not there, the beat gets like, sort of it gets pushed out a little bit. So I really think that, yeah, like I was telling Clemens, it's just having that beat be present in the mix is just so important. Yeah, I think there's the only other point. I made a little note about the low, like sort of. It sounds like a vocal sample that's like pitched way down. It feels a little out of place in the mix. Like it's very present, and I would say that it felt a little distracting at times. I might recommend bring that down in the mix a little bit, because it is sort of abrupt when it happens. That is I think that's all the notes I made here. But yeah, man, like I love the vibes. I love the horns. Are those samples or did you program those? Love to know. Love the bass line. Yeah, totally. I should have mentioned that. Okay, thanks, Edwin. I don't know if you're still in the chat here, but give us some insights. I feel like, I'm just realizing that Some of you guys sent me some notes here. I'm probably going to mess that up. Did Edwin send me any notes? Oh, yeah. I totally messed up. Some of y'all sent me some notes. Maybe I'll recap those afterwards, or I'll try to pay attention to that. But I feel like that's important for people to kind of see. Like Rob sent me some notes. Paul sent me some notes. Maybe I'll do that afterwards. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted here. So, who is next? Edwin says the horns are samples. Okay, sweet. Thanks, Edwin. Okay, we got Frodo up next. Let's check this out. It's called Well, That's Nice. Here we go. Frodo, did you send me any notes? I really got to organize myself better here before I don't think you did. But Frodo's in the stream, so if anyone has any questions, just ask him. Here we go.
Well, that's nice.
That is nice. That is very nice. Dude, killing that beat. That's such a heavy beat. I love the way that you're producing that beat. It just sounds so heavy. Really, really nicely done. Breakdown. Let me hear this one more time here. Where do we break down? Or no, so it's over here. I think I wrote in my notes that it was like a bit almost too minimal. I think I was listening to it last night. I was just like, wow, that's really spacious. But man, I don't know. I'm vibing on it now. It's cool. It's cool as hell. I don't know. I don't have a lot of critical feedback for you. I really like it. The main sample chop is awesome. I kind of wonder. Oh, I think I wondered during that breakdown whether there was like a B section sample that could have filled in during that breakdown. That was sort of what I was thinking. But that's kind of like maybe, whatever. I just thought it was awesome. It has tons of energy, and I don't know. I think you mentioned that you were going to, or you're working on a submission for Motion Ray, I believe, and I still have to review that for you. But I hope that this is in it, because this is the kind of thing that just does well, man. It's really licensable and tons of energy, feels good. Yeah, man, great job. Great job. Gooser says he thinks that him and Frodo use the same sample. It's funny because I believe there's at least one or two tracks in the submissions that I'm like, I know that sample. I've used that one before. Oh, John's in the house. What's up, man? Welcome. Yeah, great track. Frodo says he took everything from Splice on this one. Okay, sweet. Hey, Arco. Take care, man. Thanks for joining, dude. See you next time. Yeah, ballsy beat. Absolutely. Okay, cool, man. Thanks, Frodo. Always a pleasure. Show. Let's check out who is next. We got Gonzalo. Gonzalo's a new member. Oh, I wrote your name wrong. Sorry about that, man. It's Goncalo. My bad. I think I don't know. Can I change that? Yes, I can. Don't like messing people's names up, especially on their first submission. There we go. Okay, so Gonzalo is a new member, and he has a track here called Hip Hop. I guess it doesn't have a proper name, but if you are on the stream and it has a name, let me know. Okay, let's check this out. Here we go.
Stop and start again. And start again. Stop and start again. Stop and start again. Start again.
Dude. Wow. Man. That was like, man, I just got like taken back to the 90s on that one in the best way. That like reminds me of just like cruising around in the car and like blasting like Wu-Tang, Nas. I could hear rapping over that. That was fantastic. I love the vibe on that, man. The beat is like pure 90s bliss. That was, yeah, perfect vlog material. Absolutely nailed it, dude. Really, really cool to hear this submission. Great vocal chop. I would say my only critical thing to say about it really is that vocal chop. I guess I feel like it's overused, and it's just sort of my preference. I'm not saying that like, objectively. It's just I think of vocal chops as being like expensive, in a sense, that because like they're so like poignant when you do use them, that like to use them more than once is like too much for me. So I usually like try to find like that one moment in the song to drop it, and it really hits hard, and it makes the listener want to hear it one more time, So and I'm talking about the spoken word samples. So stop and start again, like you're using, it's a really, really cool sample. If I were writing that track, I probably would have used it a little bit more sparingly. That's just me. That's just my 2 cents. Or you can find like a different sample to use, something to kind of give it a little bit of variance. But yeah, I mean, the loop is perfect. I would say one other thing is that it felt like there was definitely, and this didn't have to happen necessarily, but there was certainly room for like an extra melodic layer in there. I don't know, like it could have been like a flute riff or something like that, just something vibey to kind of sing on top here and there. It didn't have to be a lot. But there's so much room in that track. So, but I mean, just the loop alone is so vibey that I think you can just, you know, get away with doing what you did, and it's great. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that, man. But really, really nice to feature your track for the first time, and I hope you are enjoying the Academy, dude. It's awesome. Okay, who we got next? I believe Goozer's up next. Yes. All right, Gooser, stoked to showcase your work here, man. This one is called Stylish Hip Hop. Oh, I almost played all tracks at once. Didn't solo it. How come you're not soloing? What is going on, man? Solo. There we go. Okay, let's check this one out. I love all these high energy hip hop tracks that you guys are producing. And man, this is just the best. Amazing stuff. A nice breakdown in there too, Gooser. In terms of the arrangement, and like the transition effects and stuff, and all the detail you're putting into chopping up that beat, I think you did a great job. The vibes were awesome, super energetic. The main sample that you're chopping up there, the one with that vocal, I guess it's a vocal. It sounds sort of like a vocal. Maybe it's not. That thing. That's a very like, I don't know what the right word is for it. Because you have like a couple of samples that you're chopping. One sounds like just like a chord, kind of like a chord stab. And then there's that one, which is very prominent in the mix. It's very distinctive. So it has a way of sounding a bit like repetitive by the end of the track, or like a bit fatiguing, and that I think it's because the volume of it is so present in the mix. And it's kind of a ridiculous point to make about hip hop, because in any critical sense, because you have to and everything in hip hop is repetitive. I think you just have to be careful about the sample that you're choosing. Not that that's not a good sample to use, but I was sort of thinking, listening to it that it's the kind of sample that I might be afraid to use, just because it's so melodic, right? So I usually look for samples to chop that are more just kind of like chord stabs, so that I have room to play with the melody on top of it, if you know what I'm saying. So that was my one thing that I thought of when I was listening to it, is that sample chop is a melody in and of itself. So you have this like constant melody throughout the whole track, which is it could be fatiguing to listen to it by the end, but you also have it very high in the mix. So it stands out, and it really kind of cuts through. But that would be my only critical thing to say really about the track. All the chops and the arrangement and just the energy of it was superb. And always great to feature your music, dude. Great job. Thank you for sending that over. Xenial says, love it. Sweet. Alexandra's in the house. Hey, welcome. Sweet. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Thanks again. Okay, so we are going to move on to Mr. John Chapman. Here he is. All right. Does this track have a name? Yes, it does. Wow, that's amazing. Let's check it out. Here we go. Yes. I love that vocal sample. That's awesome. Dude, so that's great. Fantastic work, man. So much detail. There's a lot going on there. Really funky sort of break beat. I love that. Yeah, man. I should mention actually, John is he's got his own YouTube channel. Go follow John. It's called The Home Recording Studio, I believe. Yeah, The Home Recording Studio. He just put out a video about how to produce high energy hip hop. I think he took the course, and yeah, he takes it through his own process. Go give him a follow there on YouTube. John, great to feature your work, dude. What do I write here for notes? I think, yeah, my concern with it really is that the beat, I felt like the beat could mesh with the sample work a little bit better. And maybe that would be a matter of like adding some compression a little bit more aggressively to the beat to kind of like help everything sort of gel together. It felt like the beat was nice. It sort of felt like it was, shy in the background a little bit. And you have all this really creative sample chopping going on, sitting on top of it. But I wanted to kind of hear them, I don't know, just gel together, glue together a little bit. And that's what the right amount of compression will do, I suppose. But yeah, and maybe that just means a little bit of volume adjustment with the beat and like bringing it up a bit more. But man, yeah, super creative sample chopping there. And I want to know where you found that vocal. That's amazing. That sounded awesome, dude. So cool. Oh shoot, sorry. Okay, Xennial music is John. My bad. So you got 2 YouTube channels? What's going on? He's got 2 YouTube channels, folks. Right on. Okay. Follow both of them. Sweet. Okay. Thanks so much, John. Great to hear your work, dude. Okay. Oh, and thanks for the shout out on Stock Music Mastermind. Appreciate that too. Okay, who's up next? Alexandra. Okay, this is a really cool track. Let's check this out. This one's called So Good. Here we go. Enjoy, everyone.
That's so good. Oh yeah. So good. That's Yeah, that's so good. Oh yeah. That's so good. So good.
Woo! Hot damn. Killer. I love it. I love it, man. Amazing bass line, Alexandra. That is just fantastic. All the filtered like synth chops, all the detail there is so cool. You know, this track actually the beat, the way the beat sort of vibes is, it really reminds me of what's their name? Africa Bambaataa, like early like hip hop. You know, like that like Soul Sonic Force kind of vibes. Go listen to that if you haven't already. That just like is like, man, that's like the genesis of hip hop. You know, and like that beat just kind of brought me there in the best way. And the vocals are fantastic. I think that you mentioned that's your husband doing the vocal job. Very cool. Who's doing the melodic vocal? Is that you? I want to know that, 'cause that was also really, really cool. And they both have like this really, really nice interplay. So very, very catchy. Very, very catchy. I love it. Yeah, super. Yeah, old school meets new production kind of vibe overall. I did write a couple notes. I thought that I'd like to hear a little bit more definition in the snare. The snare seemed like it got a little buried. And the mix overall feels very bright. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I feel like you could bring up the subs a little bit more, maybe curve out like the brightness just a tad. It's not like painful to listen to, but I felt like that warmth would have been a nice touch to it. Let me just catch up with the comments here. Yeah, I meant to. Yeah, the tasty synth bass for sure. I meant to mention that the bass is just killer. The bass line is amazing. First time, is that you? Oh, nice. Okay, that is you. Great. First time singing experience. You sound awesome. You should sing more in your tracks. It sounds awesome. Also, home studio recording. Great. Yeah, really nice work, Alexandra. It's always a pleasure to hear what you're up to. Yeah, great submission. Really, really cool. Okay, who's next? John, you're up. John has a track called Get It Together. Here we go. Let's check it out. Dude. Yeah, what a track. Wow. Yeah, like really, 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 really nice. Really nice, full, rounded stereo mix. That was like a very immersive experience. And that breakdown, man, that was golden. That was really, really nice, man. That high string sample, I think I've used that before. that like sort of flautando single note that's kind of hanging over everything. That was really, really tasty in the context of that track. I recognize it though. Am I right in saying that that's a Splice sample? I think I've used that one before. I might have actually used that in the chorus. Maybe not. Anyway, sounds like there's a nice little bit of funky guitar. Kind of, it's subtle. It's subtle in the mix. I like what you did there. I'm assuming that's you playing that. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I just want to like listen to that breakdown again because it was so tasty. Like right here, just so good. Oh man, really, really well done there, dude. I'm not really sure I have too much in the way of feedback. I think I wrote that a couple of the samples sound a bit loud in the mix occasionally, but I don't know. Listening back to it now, I'm feeling like I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I mentioned this on every stream. It's like I listen to the tracks the night before the stream to kind of get like some notes together, and then I sort of have like different feelings about them. The tracks the next time I listen to it. It really is so much like the mood in which you're in, like it kind of elicits these different sort of reactions to music. It's strange how that happens, but man, I think this is a great track, and I could just see this doing super well on in any kind of licensing context. Let me know in the comments, like which libraries are you working with, dude? Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff is just gonna slay the licensing world. I mean, I could see that being used in many, many different types of content. He screen grabbed the video the other day, right? So I did use that in the course. Yeah, cool. Real guitar, sweet. Yeah. Oh man, not on any libraries at all, dude. Get it together. Get it together, John. You got to put this music out there, dude. That would just clean up. That is a really, really nice mix, man. Just a very, very job well done, dude. I don't know what else to say. Thanks so much for that submission. Always awesome to hear what you're up to. Okay, so we got 3 more. Mariano is next. Mariano Navas, Final Combat. Here we go. Sweet track. Mariano, that was killer. I'm just looking at the comments, and Alexandra, the moment that you wrote, this one could be good to be sold as beats for rappers, that was exactly what I was thinking when you wrote that. It's funny. It's when you see like a lot of these younger like YouTubers like who make beats. They have these whole channels around like making beats or whatever. And some of them are pretty entertaining, but they're always like this way, like they have that kind of like modern trap sort of vibe to them, right? And this track is sort of in that vein. It sounds like really, really modern. Like it could, someone could be rapping over this in like today's world. It doesn't have like a vintage vibe to it. It sounds very modern. And I feel like, yeah, sometimes those like those dudes making the beats, it's like this constantly repeating loop, and sometimes they're kind of boring, and I feel like this one it's not boring. It has like a lot of, I love the chord progression, for example. Like it just feels so much more interesting than what I typically hear from like the trap world. So yeah, really, really well done on that. I think you nailed the beat, for one thing. That's just hard hitting, just like smack me in the face. That's exactly how it should feel. And great detail, nice synth work in there. Really, and interesting chord progression. I think that's what differentiated it from a lot of the trap that I hear these days. It's just that the chord progression added an extra layer of interest to it for me. Those last two chords in the progression were really harmonically sort of interesting. And yeah, I think this is great work, man. Like very licensable. And for sure I could hear someone rapping over this, like Post Malone or something. I don't know. Who are the modern rappers? I don't even know. I don't really listen to a lot of like modern hip hop, to be honest. But yeah, I really like the mix, man. I feel like your mixes are getting a lot stronger. Like just in over the last few months, just listening to some of your work that you posted on the Academy, listening to the submissions that you sent, this one just feels strong. This one feels like a really strong mix, man. So like, well done. Awesome to hear your work, dude. Yeah, BeatStars. That was the site I was thinking of. I haven't messed with BeatStars at all. I don't know anything about it, so I can't really speak to it. But yeah, I feel like it could be something that would do well there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and without the vocals, it definitely held up on its own. Cool. Who's next? We got Mimo's next. Sorry to put you in second last place here. Hope you're still in the stream. he might have left. Took too long. All right. Mimo, Summer Memories. This is a cool track. Let's check this out. Here we go. Very cool. Very, very cool. Mimo, great to feature your work here. I love the laid back summer vibes on this one. This feels like the soundtrack. This is the soundtrack for the end of summer here, which you know what? I'm stoked for the end of summer. I don't do well in the heat. I like it when it's like 10 degrees and cloudy. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, there's a bit of melancholy in there, which I think is great. It's like it's emotional. You know, I hope you don't mind my saying this, but I think like the synths that you're using in the track have like a very retro vibe to me, and in some ways it almost kind of feels like it's like synthwave meets hip hop. Although I would say that like this the tempo and the beat itself, and this is not a slag on the tune at all, but I think it takes it a little bit away from like the traditional hip hop territory, and it feels more just like a laid back kind of like almost like a slow tempo like rock groove, and less hip hop. That's not a knock on the track. The track is really, really nice, and I think like just going back to my thought about like blending synthwave with hip hop, that would be an interesting experiment, actually, now that I think about it. Thanks for the inspiration. Yeah, so you guys are amazing. You're inspiring me to think of new things here. That's what it's all about. But yeah, I like the retro vibe of this. I hope you don't mind my calling it like it just feels, it has like a retro vibe in a nice way to me. And it's emotional and just it feels like laid back, and it took me on a little journey. So I'm stoked on this. The only thing I would say really is that it's maybe crossing the line out of the hip hop zone into something else, just because of the tempo and like the feel of the beat. But yeah, not a bad thing. Just something to point out. Thanks so much, man. So I think, yeah, we got one more track. We have DonTrell's track. Is he still on the stream? DonTrell, you still there? I gotta check the comments. Sounds like you were taking the synthwave course and the hip hop course at the same time. I think it's not very hip hop style when I hear your songs, right? Yeah, hip hop is it's such a broad range of things and beats and tempos. Like, lo-fi hip hop is so much different than like trap, It's like, it's almost like two entirely different types of music, right? So hip hop is a big umbrella and it comprises lots of different things. Yeah. Okay, DonTrell, let's check this out. I'm stoked. Take this off the screen. What's this track called? Oh, I gotta get rid of my face here because I can't. There we go. Do we have a name? Do we have a name for this? It's got to be something better than August submission. Let me know in the comments if you got a name for this one. Sorry if I missed it. All right, let's check it out. All right, sweet. Thanks so much for sending that over, DonTrell. Okay, I have a few thoughts. So something, it's in the, I guess it's in the trap vein. I just saw in the comments, another sort of candidate for BeatStars. Yeah, like this kind of trap vibe is totally suitable to that. I don't know if you're working with any libraries or anything. DonTrell, let us know in the comments if you're submitting this somewhere. BeatStars, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't have no experience with BeatStars, so I can't really recommend that or anything like that. But yeah, clearly in sort of the trap vibe, I would say, okay, if I had to give you 2 points of feedback for this track, this is what came to mind. First, it feels like in terms of the mix, there's a lot of like low end energy. There's a lot of buildup in your like low mids and the lows. And I think that because there's a lot of masking around there, then your bass line is kind of getting squashed a little bit. So maybe that's like something that you could carve out. You carve out a little bit more space for your bass with the EQ. That could be something to think about. And then the other sort of thought that I had was that maybe some like a little bit more transitional energy between sections. So like when you're breaking things down here, and then you're coming back in, for example. Like that snare, thing you're doing there is great. Like little fills like that are awesome, but maybe some kind of like, rising energy, some kind of impact that happens on that one. Some extra elements to kind of just add like that transitional sort of like punch to the sections of your songs to really kind of delineate where you are going to change the energy, because it's all about having those kind of impactful moments, and the reason for that is really just so that video editors can use it, to edit to. It's really that simple. For trap, I know a lot of it gets quite minimal sometimes, and that works, especially when there's like rapping over it, and maybe that's what what you're hoping for something like this, like for it to get licensed for someone to rap over it, which I think in that case, you don't really have to worry about like the visual cues so much. But I think that, that would be my kind of like my 2 cents on it. Hopefully that helps in some way. DonTrell says, no, I'm pretty new to pitching and everything. Okay, cool. Alexandra says, for Nike shoes or Pepsi. Heck yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet to get a sync to either of those. That'd be huge. Sweet. Still learning about using transitional. It's right on. Yeah. I think it depends. You don't have to go over the top with the transitional stuff. But I like having those sort of like. I mean, it could be something as simple. It doesn't have to be a cymbal swell or a riser necessarily. It could be like a big brass stab or something like that. But man, I'm so glad that you got your submission in last minute. It's a pleasure to feature your music, and thanks for being here, guys. I guess I had one more thing I was going to do. I was going to show you the last hip hop track that I just submitted. I guess this is my entry for the challenge. I'll show you what's up. And this one is it's doing well. Thankfully, I uploaded 3 tracks this month to Motion Array. One was synthwave, one was corporate, one was hip hop, and the hip hop one is trending. It's doing well. The others are not doing well, unfortunately. I honestly thought that the corporate one was going to kill it, but not so much. Okay, here we are. This one is called, what did I call this one? Taste of Freedom or something like that? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I was struggling to come up with a good name. There it is. Yeah, so I don't know, more like in the high energy up tempo vibe, tempo wise, and but like a little bit more like laid back and cinematic than my original submission in the up tempo energy hip hop. Just yeah, I don't know. I didn't suspect that this one would be doing so well, but it's doing great on Motion Array at the moment. And yeah, there's not really a lot to it. It's pretty simple. You can see that I chopped up the sample and like pitched it or bounced it to audio, pitched it down a bunch, did some more chopping to it. Is this the one I wrote? Did I do this one on the live stream? I might have. Or there was a private live stream where I did like composing. I think that, yeah, this is the one I did for that. For the members of the Academy that are watching, I did the last private live stream. I believe that this is the track I wrote, but I did some refining on it. And yeah, so you could see the whole process. I believe, I hope all the tracks kind of blend into one at some point. There's too much going on. Topher says, I know we submitted about the same time. I thought my hip hop and corporate track would do well, but nope. My inspirational track is still making all the money. Hit 1048 downloads in 2 months. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's funny, Topher, because I wrote you an email there saying, asking when you were submitting the music, and because it had been like 2 weeks consistently, right? And they got to it. They approved 2 tracks before the month was up. So I unfortunately I overshot because for anyone listening, I'm babbling here, but basically what I try to do is I try to send Motion Array tracks so that they're approved at the beginning of every month, because I think that there's more activity on the site at the beginning of the month and it kind of starts to wane by the end of the month. So I try to time the submissions. I give it usually a little less than 2 weeks, 10 days or so that they are approved very on. I messed that up. I sent them in too early and they got approved right at the end of last month. But this track was the later submission, and this one got in, I believe, at the beginning of September. And it's doing well. So maybe that was the reason why, maybe, who knows? I'm always trying to game the system somehow. Alexandra says, yes, this is the track that you had your live composing stream right on. Cool. So yeah, any of the members watching can go and watch that whole live composing stream if you want. I think it's a couple hours long. Yeah, I did some refining with the idea, of course, but this was the final mix, and there you have it. Cool. Well, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, what else can I say? I'm just absolutely blown away by the submissions this month. The quality bar has been set so high. You guys are amazing. I'm so stoked that got so many people, actively participating in these challenges, and we got over 100 members in the Academy now, which is just mind blowing to me. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. I can't wait for to see what you guys come up with for September's challenge with the scoring footage. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. Oh, and I said that I would announce the prize. I'm putting a little thing together, but the main prize will be a bundle package from Aberrant DSP, who they make Sketch Cassette and a few other really, really cool plugins. So whoever wins the scoring competition, I don't know how it's going to be judged yet. I might send it to Eric and tell him to judge it. So I'm, have a third party judging the submissions, but whoever wins will get a little prize package from Aberrant DSP plugin manufacturer. I'm a big fan of them. So yeah, great job, everyone. Thanks so much. I'm gonna end it there. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Check out productionmusicacademy.com if you're watching this on YouTube, and to all the members of the Academy, I salute you. Hats off. Job well done. and keep making great music. You guys are awesome. I will see you soon. Take care. Have a great day. Bye, guys.